Stephen Crane, capture the raw and painful truths of life. 1. Life and family. Stephen Crane was born on November 1, 1871, in Newark, New Jersey, the 14th and youngest child of Mary Helen Peck Crane and Jonathan Townley Crane. His father was a Methodist minister, and his mother was a writer and dedicated social activist, deeply involved in the temperance movement. Crane grew up in a strict religious environment, but was known for his independent thinking and skepticism of rigid doctrines. Despite his family's emphasis on education, Crane was more inclined toward literature and adventure than formal schooling. He briefly attended Lafayette College and later Syracuse University, but did not complete a degree. Instead, he pursued a career in journalism, working as a freelance writer in New York City. His early experiences reporting on the harsh realities of urban life greatly influenced his writing style and themes. Tragically, Crane died of tuberculosis on June 5, 1900, at the age of 28 in Badenweiler, Germany. Despite his brief life, he left an enduring legacy in American literature, particularly in naturalism and realism. 2. Main works. Stephen Crane is best known for his novel The Red Badge of Courage, 1895, a groundbreaking work of war fiction that explores the psychological turmoil of a young soldier, Henry Fleming, during the American Civil War. Unlike traditional war narratives that focused on heroism and battlefield glory, Crane's novel delved into the internal struggles of fear, courage, and self-identity. Remarkably, he wrote the book without having experienced war firsthand, basing it instead on research and vivid imagination. Before achieving fame with The Red Badge of Courage, Crane published Maggie, A Girl of the Streets, 1893, a stark portrayal of poverty and vice in urban America. This novel, one of the earliest examples of American literary naturalism, was initially self-published due to its controversial content. Beyond his novels, Crane was also a prolific short story writer. His stories, such as The Open Boat, 1897, based on his real-life shipwreck experience, and The Blue Hotel, 1898, are considered masterpieces of American realism. Additionally, his poetry, particularly in The Black Riders and Other Lines, 1895, was noted for its unconventional style and existential themes. 3. Anecdotes and controversies. Crane's adventurous spirit often led him into dangerous situations, many of which later inspired his writing. One of the most well-known incidents occurred in 1896 when he was aboard the SS Commodore, a ship bound for Cuba that sank off the coast of Florida. Crane survived by clinging to a lifeboat with 3 other men for over 30 hours before being rescued. This harrowing experience became the basis for his acclaimed short story, The Open Boat. Another interesting anecdote concerns his time as a journalist in New York. Crane was known for his immersive approach to reporting. He sometimes dressed in ragged clothes to blend in with the homeless population and experience their hardships firsthand. His commitment to realism was so intense that it sometimes put him at odds with authorities and the upper-class society of the time. Although Crane was widely praised for his literary innovations, his works and personal life often sparked controversy. The Red Badge of Courage, while celebrated for its psychological depth, was criticized by some Civil War veterans who felt that Crane, having never been in battle himself, could not accurately depict the realities of war. Others, however, lauded his ability to capture the emotional experience of soldiers with remarkable authenticity. His earlier novel, Maggie, A Girl of the Streets, faced harsh criticism due to its unflinching portrayal of poverty and prostitution. At the time, such subject matter was considered inappropriate, and the novel struggled to find a publisher. Even after publication, it was largely ignored by mainstream literary circles due to its bleak depiction of urban decay. Crane's rejection of traditional literary norms also made him controversial. His poetry, written in free verse and stripped of conventional structure, baffled critics who were accustomed to more traditional forms of poetry. While his experimental approach was underappreciated in his time, it later influenced modernist poets in the 20th century. For conclusion, Stephen Crane's literary contributions remain influential despite his short life. His works, particularly The Red Badge of Courage, challenged conventional war narratives and set new standards for psychological realism in literature. His bold explorations of human struggle, whether on the battlefield, in the slums, or at sea, showcased his keen observational skills and deep empathy for human suffering. He paved the way for later writers such as Ernest Hemingway and modernist poets who admired his stripped-down, evocative style. Crane's legacy as a writer who captured the raw and often painful truths of life remains firmly established in literary history.